Region 12 staff. My name is Jeremy Ferrero, and I'm here to give you some tips and strategies on the software called Zoom. Zoom is a video conferencing and web conferencing software and service that allows you really to be collaborative, which sets it apart from many other video conferencing services and software. And when you're dealing with a lot of staff in the region, as well as districts and teachers, communication definitely is a must, and being able to communicate with them and give them resources. But what Zoom does is it allows you to be collaborative as well, so they can share and other teachers within their campus can share, so that there's a great dialogue going on. Much like iron needs to sharpen iron, that's what can happen with this type of tool. So you can access Zoom by going to zoom.us, and zoom.us gives you a way to sign in, and it gives you a way to sign up. And it is free, and that's something that as you talk with teachers and districts and campuses, that you can let them know that even within their campuses, they can use Zoom for free as a way to collaborate and even do some other things that we'll discuss in just a bit. So the focus of this video will be, how do I join a meeting, how do I schedule a meeting, and then how do I host a meeting? And within this video, I'll share some practical ways in order to collaborate, so that as you're talking amongst the districts and the teachers and even amongst the staff here at Region 12, that you'll be able to share those practical tips, not just the basics of joining a meeting and scheduling a meeting. So let's go ahead and get started. Joining a meeting is one of the most basic things that Zoom has to offer, so I won't spend a whole lot of time on that today, so that we can spend more time on some of the practical and cool features that hosting a meeting has to offer. But first, in order to be able to join a meeting, you had to have been invited. And so a host or a scheduler is going to send you an invitation via email, which will have the important information necessary for you to, number one, add the meeting to your calendar, as well as join it. So let's go ahead and look at my email, and I have sent myself an email with an invitation, and this is the topic of the web conference. It's just a basic Google Calendar type invite. It gives you the yes, maybe, and no, and it shows the where, and that is an important thing. It's the link to the web conference, so you want to make sure that you are aware of that. And you'll see that it's down here as well. Join from PC, Macs, Linux, iOS, or Android, and you can click on this link. If you notice, this 546 number is also the meeting ID, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that because I'm going to need that later. But here is the first way you can join the meeting. First, you just click on the link, and what it'll do is it'll open up the browser. You'll want to open it in zoom.us, and then it will allow you to join the meeting. And if you notice, it says, please wait for the host to start this meeting. So you just kind of wait there until the host is there. Many times, hopefully the host is going to be there earlier than you are, so you'll be able to join right away. So I'm going to close that out. That is the first way to join the meeting. The second way, again, remember I copied this 546 meeting ID, so that is important. If you go into zoom.us, it gives you the option to join a meeting. The reason why this is important is because you don't even have to have a Zoom account in order to join a meeting. You just have to have the meeting ID. So you can put that meeting ID in there. You join, and again, it has the same prompts. Open zoom.us, and it allows you, please wait for the host to start this meeting, and there you are. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. That is the second way. But for people who are going to use Zoom quite frequently, you're going to probably want to go ahead and download a shortcut or log into Zoom so that you have access. So right now I have a Mac that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and open up the application for zoom.us, or if I was on a cell phone, I do the same thing. And if you notice, it has right here, join a meeting. I can go ahead and put that meeting ID in there as well and go ahead and join. It's going to be the same if you were to log in and go ahead and join that way. You need the meeting ID or the link to that meeting ID in order to join that meeting, and then you can go ahead and get things started. scheduling a meeting and hosting a meeting go hand in hand, but I'm gonna separate them and make them two different steps. So the first thing you need to do when you're scheduling a meeting is you need to go to Zoom.us, or again, if you're using a Mac, you can open up that app and log in. And when you log in, which I already have, it gives you the option to join a meeting, it gives you the option to host a meeting, and then it gives you the option, it says My Account. When you click into My Account, it has a ton of different options over on this side, but let's just look specifically at scheduling a meeting, okay? When you click on Schedule a Meeting, it opens up the option to set your meeting topic. So we'll just keep it at My Meeting. You can give a description. And also it says, 4:29. You can set the time. You can set the duration. Now keep in mind when you have a free account, you can only keep your meetings at 40 minutes. So we'll go at a 30-minute time frame. Gives you the time zones. You can click if it's a recurring meeting and you can specify how many days, but for this example we won't have it be a recurring meeting, it'll just be a single meeting. Gives you the option of, do you want the participant and the host to both have video? Well, for a video conference that's probably necessary. Audio, it gives you the option right here. Do you want only telephone? We'll just click both here. Require a meeting password. It gives you different options for your meeting down here as well. And it says use your personal meeting ID, and we definitely want to have that. So we'll hit save. And then it allows you to put it on whatever calendar you would like. So we're going to say we want it on the Google Calendar. All right, so it'll pull up my Google Calendar. And again, it has my meeting, which is the topic. It gives the time frame. It gives the location, which is my meeting ID. Remember the 356 here. That invitation that we saw during Join a Meeting is all in here as well. If you want to add an attachment, again, you're just sending a meeting invite to a calendar. Once you get everything set the way you want it to, you can put in your guests, and we'll put in a guest here. And then you'll go ahead and save it. And yes, we would like to send that invitation to a guest. So it'll show up on my calendar as my meeting, and it'll go as an invitation to any person that I have included in that guest list. So we've learned how to join a meeting and we've learned how to schedule a meeting, but as a host of a meeting, there are several options that are pretty key as you communicate with the people that you are conferencing with. So whether you are meeting with districts or campuses or teachers, or even if you are working with other staff members in different departments within the service center, collaboration is a pretty vital piece to any sort of video conference or web conference. And as a host, you have some options on how to collaborate in order to make the meeting more beneficial to all participants. So first of all, let's go to Zoom.us. And again, you see that it gives you the option to join a meeting, and it gives you the option to host a meeting. And within that, as it drops down, it'll say with video off, with video on, or screen share only. And then you can go into your account and it'll give you the same thing. Schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting. Okay? But whether you are on a PC or a Mac, you also usually will have this pop up, and it'll give you the same thing. Start with video, start without video, join, schedule, or share screen. Gives you some other options down here. So we're going to go ahead and start a meeting just like we're having a web conference, even though it's just going to be me. So we're going to join audio conference by computer, and you're going to see me a little bit bigger, my bow tie a little bit brighter, and we're going to go ahead and show some options here. So you have some audio options where you can mute this video, or you can set any additional. If you had a different microphone you wanted to use, you could go ahead and do that. Also, you could stop the video, and there are some kind of advanced features as far as if you have an external webcam that you want to use. But I think some of the most important things when you're looking at video conferencing are these options down here. So first, let's start here. You can invite a person. You can invite by contacts. You can copy the invitation and put it into an email, or you can just simply click Gmail and it will pull up your email with all of these options on here, so they can have the link and they can have the meeting ID, and you would just type any participants who you want to join spur of the moment. Because we've already started the web conference, you can type them in there and go ahead and hit send, and it would give them that immediate invitation to show up to this web conference. All right. After you finally have participants, you can manage those participants within here. So some of the options that you'll see, we don't have any participants here, but when you have a participant, you can rename them. So you can, if they have just an email address on there, but it's not their actual name, you can type their name in there, so their name will show up. It also will give you the option to mute that particular individual, stop the video on them. You can have private chats with them. So there's that drop down option, and you can also, and this is a pretty cool feature, you can also make them the host. So then they are able to facilitate the video conference and web conference as opposed to you. So you have that option to be able to be very collaborative and very seamless with how you pass the baton when it comes to the video conference. Also, you have this share screen option, and under the share screen option, you have the option to share your desktop, so they'd be able to see whatever's on your desktop. You could share a whiteboard, and we'll show that here. So on this whiteboard, let's bring it over. You can use the text feature or a draw feature. You could spotlight and erase, and within that, let's see. Let's type something in here. How do digital portfolios impact a student's academic success? So you can type that in there, and any participant can respond to that, or they can type their own questions in. And one cool feature is that you have this save button here, where if you're brainstorming or you have a bunch of ideas on here from various people, you can go ahead and save that, and it will save. For a Mac, you can find it in your Finder. For a PC, it'll be on your computer as well, to where you can have that document to go back to or email out to the other participants. And you can clear those. You can choose to clear all. You can choose to clear just yours or everyone else's, but we'll go ahead and clear that, and we'll stop sharing. But also, we have the option to share your iPhone or iPad, which is a pretty cool feature as well. So if you have something that is on your iPad or your iPhone, it's a simple kind of mirroring feature, and you can pull that document up. You'll see that the video goes off to the side, and you can pull this document up showing join meeting, schedule meeting, and host a meeting, and you can refer to that. You can even annotate that and text on it or draw on it, whatever you want to do there, and then save that as well, just like you could the whiteboard. So there's several different features as far as the sharing a screen that allows a collaboration piece with some resources there in order to help the collaboration in the meeting process. Another feature is the chat feature. So I mentioned how you could chat to various attendees privately, but you can also chat to everyone. So there could be a running thread going regarding what is taking place. That could be just, maybe it's a direct professional development. So maybe the host or someone is directly speaking and sharing a resource that's going on, rather than interrupt with words. There could be a chat thread going on where they're asking questions or they're making comments about how those various things could be used, and that's a pretty powerful tool as well. We'll go ahead and close out of that. And then the last feature, which I think is pretty cool, is the record button. And that record button could be just to record the entire video conference and it saves it as an MP4. So you can post that on a website, you can email that, you can have that for posterity's sake, so that if there's a lot of great resources that are being shared, that can be kept rather than just in the document on the whiteboard. Rather than just being that, it could be a feature to where you can listen to that later on. I think of this also as you're sharing ideas with teachers, that imagine at the secondary level where you have multiple teachers for one student, just having the ability to have all those teachers on Zoom meeting with one parent who's at their home or something like that for a parent-teacher conference, and being able to have that all at once. Or maybe it is as simple as a teacher who doesn't have a screencasting software, and maybe a campus that can't afford that, and now you have a free resource in Zoom that the teacher can record tutorial sessions, maybe mentoring sessions, maybe digital citizenship type stuff, or writing helps, or math tutorials, and they can save that. They can record it and save it as an MP4 and put it on their website to maybe even help resource parents on how to help their students with their homework. So a lot of great features in Zoom, and I hope you enjoyed at least listening to that, or that you at least learned some things. I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting. There are a lot of features that you can look through, from joining a meeting, scheduling a meeting, hosting a meeting, and this resource, this video conference software, could be an amazing tool to collaborate not only within the service center, but as educational specialists are resourcing teachers throughout the region.